Okay, good evening. This is the capstone of my family at the Columbia Garden Cemetery in Arlington, Virginia. And that's actually, I'll show you where it is. It's right here, just north of I-50 and Glebe Road in Arlington. It's right in this area, and it's right up in there. And to show you the other pictures, a few of the other pictures that's nearby. That's a big some other scenes. There's my capstone. That was the setup the day of the burial of the capstone, which was December 21st in 2010. My mother died December 14th in 2010. And that was me speaking about her at the funeral on January 15th of 2011. And that's another older picture of the capstone. I don't need that. So um, I do want to talk also to talk about, well, for one thing, I'm going to add the 2010 death, the 2010 um, is missing for my mother's year of birth, death is 2010. So the estate's going to pay them a little bit about $750. And here's the little invoice. Here's Columbia Gardens and a little invoice from today. And kind of just was there today. So that taking care of that. I hadn't been there in years, so I visited today and took care of that. I just felt it was something we hadn't done. And I'll even show you a little video, a couple of little videos of the area that I took. That's actually a nearby one. This is actually the video of the capstone. Visit to my parents' cemetery. Did not put 2000, the year 2010 on my mother's capstone. Presumably, the third, there would be one space for me. This is, of course, cremation. But I haven't visited this in a long time. A little thing to open it with, where my remains would be put in. Getting a little bit morbid. Uh, so that brings us to the issue of finances. And I have to announce I've taken a look at my entire financial picture. My life expectancy from a chart I did seems to be, because I'm 81 now, seems to be 87 at the end of 2030. That takes into account high blood pressure, a little bit of high blood pressure, but decent weight and no other real problems. So I've not really had many problems. I've gotten this far. As males right now, the life expectancy if you're born is 74.8. But there's been a lot of talk about Trump and Social Security and Musk, and there's lots of rumors going around. I suppose it's conceivable that he could decide that even people getting benefits, if they have enough assets, don't deserve them, even though we all know that Trump and Musk are being accused of stuffing their own pockets. We all know that. But Brian Taylor Cohen. Brian Tyler Cohen is always arguing that. But anyway, but the possibility would be there for means testing, even if current recipients, or for just some sort of interruption in payments. There was a rumor today that I saw on one site that Social Security payments could be delayed for 90 days, but that didn't seem to pan out. That didn't go anywhere. But what I am going to announce is that if either my Social Security payments are delayed or if they were stopped for some reason, I will pay myself from the beneficiary part of my trust for up to 2 years. And that could total right now to current benefits, that could total $21,510 for 24 months. And if my ING Voya retirement were for some reason to stop, again for 2 years, that for 1 year is 12,287. For 2 years, I'm sorry, for 2 years, for 1 year, the total of the two is 33,979. And for 2 years, the total of the two would be 65,594, which potentially I could pay myself from the beneficiary part of the trust, which would not go to them after my death. I want to show you the sort of how I do my accounting. My own assets in my own name right now come out to about 416, but there's some caveats. The part that my beneficiaries own comes out to 884,000. A lot of that's under Truist. The checking accounts, about 79,000 of that is in checking, and about 60,000 of my own is in checking. But that would mean theoretically 65,000 in that 79,000 in checking would cover Social Security payments or retirement payments if I didn't get them. But generally, the way this is set up, I'm not supposed to pay myself from their stuff for something that happens to everybody. So, for example, I lost some money because of the pandemic. I had to cancel a trip and lost about $3,000 in what I had deposited into a pitch fest, which eventually I went to another one. I don't get that back because that was a wartime, essentially a foreign power attacking everybody, China, causing the pandemic. So I don't get that back because that's something that everybody had to suffer. But if it's something specific to me, I can make reasonable claims. But if I have an annuity that is responsible for some of my assets, which is worth 93,000 right now, and then another annuity, in a sense, is paying my rent on the condo to the beneficiaries. So I really have 239,000 plus of my own assets to spend in cash. And some of that's in securities, which could become very volatile with Trump and everything. And right now I owe $28.75 more to iUniverse for book marketing based on the old books. And that's not to mention the interest I have in trying to make a short film based on that screenplay we read in December. So that's what my situation is. And I'm also just wanted to talk about one other little thing. I'm going to talk about my plans for what I want to do with my remaining years and the projects I want to finish and the concerns I have about the future of this channel and that kind of thing in another video soon. But I would say this, as far as what's going on politically right now with labels, I would say my own labeling of myself, I am a male. I don't have a sense of gender identity. I have a date of birth, which is age 81. But there are other ways to characterize me, which should not become legal labels, but which could be used to classify me by public policy or classify anyone, um, based on how much responsibility I have for other people's skin in the game. My current marital status is single, but you could be married, and you could be married with procreative complementarity, which means heterosexual marriage, able to produce children. I don't have any descendants. I don't have a lineage because I'm an only child. And I didn't have children because minors. I have not raised any minors. And I probably took myself out of being able to do that when I moved out of the house, if that ever came up. But you can imagine things that could happen. You never know what's going to happen for sure. I don't have other dependents, and I haven't had any dependents in the past. So it doesn't sound like I've been real good about having my own skin in the game. But that's something I'm going to talk about soon later. But yeah, it looks like I reasonably have about 7 more to the end of 2030 or something is what those annuity the actuarial tables tell me when I look at my medical stuff. So, and I'm got to remain financially stable. And if something really catastrophic happens to the Social Security payments or the retirement payments, or because of the value of my other assets outside of the checking accounts and cash, it's because of the volatility of this administration. I'm in the same boat as everybody. So this is a little bit of sobering discussion today, but I just wanted to remind you, I did sort of look into this mortality issue today. It may be a little bit morbid, but that's what I did today, and I just wanted to report on it and talk about it. So that's what I have for today, and I do thank you for listening.